episode number 14, I believe. This one's interesting. We just dropped an album, and we got some amazing, talented artists that I work with on there. None other than in studio today, the beautiful, wonderful, amazing, the Captain. Salute. What up, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing, bro?
Very good. He joined me on that joint, No Doubts. If you guys haven't checked it out already, the new CD is called Times Like These. And yeah, man, it's one of my favorite ones on there, man. It was great, man.
Yeah.
That beat was just speaking to me. It came out really quick and easy on that one for me. I don't know about you. Same?
To be. So just went with it and it turned out great.
I agree, man. It's interesting on songs for me. Sometimes they take a while, and it's stupid too. Like sometimes for me, it's the mixing that takes forever, or just like one little word I don't like the way it fits, and then sometimes it's just really simple. But I think a lot of the ones that come out really simple or easy or just flow off tend to be some of the best ones, honestly.
I agree.
Your mind and heart are just melted to that beat, and it just works, you know.
Right, it's all about concept for me. It's like what we talking about here.
Yeah, definitely.
Some things I can just
right off
give
the top.
You so much,
yeah,
much, and then there's things that it take me a little bit of time to see how I want to get my point across.
But for sure, like a more serious topic, for sure. I got one like that right now. Actually, it's going to be on Burnsy's album. I won't give away too much on it, but it's a serious track. And he hit me at a weird time. I had a lot going on, so it took me a little bit to get it out. You know,
you always got a lot going on.
That's true, right? Bro. But
right.
No, this one particularly was a rough time at the time. So, but it was cool. So what's good, man? How's that weather up in Indiana? You guys got this cold snap hitting you?
Man, we back and forth, man. One day, I mean, we literally will have a 30, 40 degree difference from day to day. So this week it's been 50s, 60s.
Okay.
We was
today too.
Today now we down in about mid 40s.
Okay.
But that's how much it fluctuates. Especially during changing the season. So, but yeah, man, like we ain't up north because they getting smashed.
I know. My mom, man, she was telling me, I don't know if they're getting over freezing today, but I know they were below when she woke up. I know today I woke up to 70 here, so I'm not complaining. We're on our way to 85, bro. I know you got the family in Florida that tells you, but yeah, this is warm for us. We're normally low mid 70s this time of year, which is amazing, but I'll take 85 all day, you know?
Right. And year round, I mean, that's what you can count on. But heck, they even getting snot in LA, bro. So
I know. I'm glad. Yeah, you got to go south, man. You got to go south and coastal for sure. You know.
Yeah, my oldest boy live out there. He about an hour southeast of LA. So.
Okay, I knew he was in Cali. All right, so he's outside of LA. All right, that's cool.
Yeah, especially up in the mountains though, they getting hit with feet. So
you said hour southeast. Okay, so of LA. So he's not on the water, but okay, so he's not that far from TJ, right? He's almost on the border then, because LA is pretty close. I mean, San Diego's about an hour south of LA, something like that. He's closer to LA or closer to San Diego?
He closer to LA.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like that area actually, and it's funny because Cali, I like Cali. It's weird. A lot of people associated with obviously LA, San Francisco and stuff. But when you get outside of that, it's a lot of farm country and stuff, man. It really is, and it's a lot of beautiful area, man. I mean, I know you took that. I believe it was the first journey you got on your RV. You went over to Big Sur, which I can't even drive that in a Mini Cooper, bro. I'm not, I'm not trusting that. But I just don't like the heights. But I hear it's beautiful, man.
Oh man, it was an amazing trip, and I definitely want to do it again, and take a different route. But we went out from Indy, went the northwest out to Iowa, hit South Dakota, went to the Black Hills and Mount Rushmore, all that.
We had just finished that trip not that long before you guys.
Right, yeah.
We just didn't do the Big Sur part.
out through Wyoming, which was
Beautiful.
crazy,
Yeah, yeah.
crazy beautiful. But like the winds, like crosswinds,
Oh,
dude, they would smack the fucking side of the
and when you got a
RV.
big RV, man, it's like, you're walking
Woo!
around like a billboard, man. That thing just moves.
Right, and then you're
Yeah.
coming oncoming with semis,
Yeah.
2-lane road. Yeah, it's a little
We
sketchy,
get
but
those out here too, man. I was doing a ride. I'm doing like a little bit of Uber and Lyft now. I think I told you, but so I was doing a ride to this one dude, and he was going like somewhere out in the country. It was like a long ride. I get these once in a while, and man, the wind was crazy. Man, in
yeah,
the Prius, I thought that thing was gonna flip. It was like whoa, 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 whoa. I'm like, yo, this car's not even big. Like if I had
right,
my van, it would have been like, wow, it was crazy. But some
yeah,
days we get that out here. We're actually the wind capital of the U.S. out in Corpus Christi. So people
yeah.
that do the kite surfing and like kites and all that stuff, it's huge here, man.
Well, we was gonna come down your area. It's before you moved down there though,
Yeah, yeah.
and we was gonna hit that annual
That
sandcast.
sandcastle. No, I was here. You told me. I just can't remember if I was actually around or not. But yeah, I remember you told me you were going to do the
Well,
sandcastle one.
yeah,
That's
we
South
were all
Padre.
right. South Padre.
Yeah.
We was all about it, and then they canceled it because of COVID.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we canceled that trip. But yeah, man, I love Texas. One of the just wildest thunderstorms I've ever seen was down in Texas when we was coming back from Cali
Uh huh.
on our way home out in Sweetwater, Texas.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah,
Is that
wicked.
more in the like north west area,
Yeah,
Texas? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. That area gets a little crazy, man. They get like
yeah,
big tornadoes and weird storms. It's not all the
yeah.
time, but it hits, man. Like
Well,
Dallas and around there. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It hit too. So yeah, but I love Texas. I lived down in San Antonio when I was a kid.
Okay. I
Dad
know
was
you.
in
I
Air
know you
Force
did
and
Army
yeah,
brat thing, right? Or
Air Force.
Air Force. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
we
you
were
lived a lot
actually
of
up
places.
up in your other area. We was up in Dover, Delaware.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when my brother was born. And then
Is that
we
that's
down.
northern Delaware?
I believe so. I believe
Okay,
so.
because yeah, I got family in Pennsylvania, but they're in Delco Valley, which is Delaware, county. So it's
Okay.
yeah, so that's right there on the border, I think. Yeah,
Right.
it's cool.
But yeah, I was a baby. Because me and my brother and sisters are all like 2 years apart, born 2 years apart. So
Hmm.
we was in Dover, Delaware, when my brother was born. Then we was in Fort Lauderdale,
Okay.
Florida, when my sister
Yeah.
was born, and then my youngest sister was born here in Richmond.
I
So
spent a lot of time out in Fort Lauderdale area, actually, specifically Miami Beach, South Beach. But I used to always fly into Fort Lauderdale because I find these flights. This is like going back a little bit because we're older,
right.
but I would get a flight for like $40, $50 round trip.
Well, you a Miami rat, ain't you?
Yeah, that's why I would go like twice a year because my birthday was in February, and I would try to get out like in Christmas was always super expensive, and I didn't want to fly for Christmas. Obviously, I want to be with the family, but like
Right.
December 1st to 15th is usually really cheap because no one travels. So I'd
Right.
be like 50, $60, $40, whatever I can get round trip, and then I would hit it again from like January 15th to February 15th, another somewhere in that gap, like just for a weekend or something
And
because super
perfect time to
cheap.
be there. Right.
Super cheap, yeah, exactly. And it's a beautiful time to be there.
Yeah.
I remember
Exactly.
actually at the time, I used to have hair back in the day, and I was going to my barber, and his name out was shout outs to Ivan. What up, Ivan? I remember I told him,
No,
he's
bye.
like, hey, man, he's like, you travel, you going down the south a lot? I'm like, yeah, man, I hit Miami when I can. He's like, yeah, so you got tan, and he's like, how much you pay for these flights? And I was like, yo, to be honest with you, I just booked one for $38 round trip. He was like,
That's
what?
crazy.
So he's like, yo,
That's
show me how to
crazy.
do that. So, because he's like, I'm talking to some girl down there. So I said, all right. So we pulled up the phone, I think it was, or whatever it was at the time. Maybe it was a laptop. And we did that. And I was like, oh shit, they got one for $32 round trip. He's like, yo, let's go. He wanted to
That's
book it two
crazy.
days later. Like, bro, I just got back. Give me like a week. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'll book it today with you, but let's book it for
Yeah.
like 10 days or 15 days from
He's
now. So
right.
we went again. I went with him and my boy Wayno. And that was good times, man. That was the time that you ever been to Wet Willie's? Any of the Wet Willies, you know what that is?
It sounds familiar, but I
So they
can't
call
recall.
them daiquiris,
Yeah.
but they're mixed with they all have like Bacardi. So they
Okay.
mix it with Bacardi. The one that I like is called Call a Cab, all right?
All right.
Because if you drink one, you might have to call a cab. It's Bacardi It's some shit called Diesel, which is a vodka that's 153 proof. I never even
Wow.
heard of this. Okay,
Right.
and then on top of that, they put grain, 190 proof alcohol in the grades. Right,
Damn.
all three of those with like a fruit punch. The worst part is it tastes sweet and you don't even taste alcohol,
right.
but it's like your tongue goes numb. So
Okay.
I remember it was like we were down there and it was the three of us.
How big
And
the drink?
oh, it was like, actually I got them downstairs. I collect the cups. It's like I don't know if maybe a 16 ounce cup or something like that. 18 ounce. It's a good size. It's not like one of those yardsticks, but it's strong. So I think I had maybe 5 of those in the morning. We're starting early. It was crazy. I never do this. And then we had split like a sixth one. It was me and Wayno. It was like my birthday trip.
Okay.
So we were there. We're talking to a bunch of people at the bar and stuff like that. And then I got up and I felt like a cartoon character. Like my feet were just kind of like they didn't work. They didn't work. I never had that before. Like I don't really. I have a high tolerance. I don't usually get drunk. And usually if I do, it's slower. I could feel it coming on. And I get a little buzz, but I'm like pretty on point when I'm drinking. So I did that and I felt good, but I was walking, my legs were like going downstairs, but there was no stairs.
Oh, shit.
So I was like, let's pull this together. Next thing I know, I'm in the street just like yelling at cars, yelling at people. Some guy told me he was in was MS-13, that real crazy gang. And I just started calling him a little bitch and stuff. It was crazy, bro. I was crazy, bro.
Obviously.
Yeah. We were having a good time. But it was pretty cool because I remember that night, I realized how many people I talked to at the bar when we were drinking. I didn't even know because people like, hey, happy birthday, man. Happy birthday. I was like, fuck are these people? That's actually like, that's kind of how I got the name Joe Peoples. I don't know. I might have told this story on here before. I'm not sure. Have I ever told you how I got the name?
No. You sure haven't.
It was a college thing. So it's really like it's kind of an acronym. It's funny. I don't know if you ever watch Better Call Saul.
No.
I love that show, but it's funny. His name is Saul Goodman, and I never even put it together. One day, that's not his real name, and then one day he's like, "It's Saul Good, man." So he told the guy his name was Saul Goodman.
Okay.
So that's kind of how mine was. It's Dan Goodman, but it's every time I was like hanging out with people and stuff, I'm like, hey, what's up? My name's Dan, and blah blah blah. And I'd be walking down around a Yukon, and someone would be like, hey Dan, what's up? And I'm like, hey, what's up? And then you'd be like, hey Dan, who is that? I'm like, I don't know. So I found out I was like meeting people out when I was partying and drunk. So when I was drunk, I would switch it. If I had a beer or something, I'd say Dan and whatever. But after a beer or two, basically right when I started drinking, I would tell people I was Joe. So I was like, I was your friend. I was like Joe Peoples. I was like everyone's people, like a party person.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's how it started. So when I was drinking, I was Joe. When I was not drinking, I was Dan. So when people would say, hey, what's up, Joe? I'm like, what up? And then you'd be like, hey, how do you know that guy? I'm like, oh, I was partying with him. That's it. So at least I know, like that's how I kept it straight. So that way, if I don't have the best memory of like names sometimes. So like, especially with like 30,000 people on campus.
I can do names. I can do faces.
Yes, I'm good with faces too.
Yeah.
But when I had neither one, like I was like, oh, they're vaguely familiar, At least I wasn't blanking. So it was that's how Joe Peoples like permeated out there. So I just kind of stuck with it, and
that's a good story.
Yeah, and then like I just stuck with it because like with rhyming and stuff, like on the apps, you meet a lot of people. I don't remember people's names, and then also it's good if like I don't know. We used to do those killer collabs and all those big fucking things, so it kind of became like a fun thing. Yeah, like Joe's people, like I'm everyone's peoples. I don't know. It just sounded like a rhyming name. I was like, I'll just stick with it,
Yeah, and the name itself, and just incorporates everybody. So
exactly.
Everybody wants to be a part of it. So yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, that's the thing. So yeah. Slap music. Nah, it got me more into like actually this album has more solo joints than usual. Like I usually like collabing a lot, but I will say I like both because when you do the solo ones, it's kind of fun too because you know when the project's gonna end. You know exactly the story when you're telling it. The cool part, well, that's good and bad. It's cool sometimes when you just do the first verse and it's the second verse. Someone's gonna be something fun, but you don't know where the song's gonna go.
Yeah.
And I've had once or twice where like, it's not the direction I wanted. That's like weird.
It worked, but
oh yeah, no, but I mean, I've had to go back to like it was never you, but I had to go back to like someone and be like, hey, I don't think it really works with the concept. And you know how it is with artists, like we don't ever want to hear that, because it's not like the verse isn't good. It's more about the concept and the story and what you're trying to tell. Like, I mean, if it's like braggadocious song, it doesn't matter, but a song that's like has a point,
Like the Brother Ali, we sensitive about our shit. You heard
that,
time,
bro? Yeah. Big time. No, I haven't, but that's definitely true, man. I know everyone is like everyone has like
but
egos.
Yeah, but you got to be able to take criticism because
100%.
I mean, perfect example. Me and Rocket Arm and Jay Skate,
Yep.
we just did a joint together. It's been over a year since we, our last one, but that's something. That's why we're so tight because we can just be honest. Say, hey, man, what about this? Or once you feel in the space with that, or just be totally honest, and nobody gets gets bent out of shape over it.
100%.
So you definitely want to work with them type of artists, and and then that just hanging out with them type of people, and getting to know 'em. That's why we so tight because you know that
Oh yeah. Of
off the app, you get to you find out who people are, and so
course.
it's Joe People International. You know,
Chill.
yeah.
Not now, man. Little Zack Attack is
Well, yeah,
in that belly coming in 5 weeks, give or take.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't plan on going there for a little bit. Y'all gonna have
Yeah,
to come visit
well, you
us.
well, you done put it on some roots, so
Hmm.
now they got to grow, and
Yeah.
we definitely gonna head down there, especially after baby's born. So,
Nice.
like I said, my brother lives down in New Orleans, so
That's what's up.
it's been a while since we've been down there, and he's remodeling a house, so
Okay. Cool.
going to check that out. So
Beautiful, man. Well, we
he'll
got
sing.
a guest bedroom always ready, man. So you let us know. You already know what it
Hey,
is, man.
we got a house on wheels, man.
And actually,
I
that's
just need some power.
so that's the thing. To be honest with you, I don't know. It might not be ready by the time you come back, but down. I'm hoping by maybe the end of the year. So we bought this house, and we have the main house, and we have the two little houses, like I had showed you before.
Right.
But I want to add a third one, and I was talking to the guy. I said, "Huh, yeah." So it's yeah, because the thing is, the little one now that used to be a cobbler's barn, it has a roof, and the roof goes over the whole thing, right? But only half of it is like a house. The other half is just like a porch. It's open,
Okay.
no walls. So I'm like,
Right.
I'll just put walls up and run the plumbing over, and it's not a big deal. I already have the
Right.
roof and everything, and I have a concrete slab. It's all kind of there. So I'm like, I'll do that. But I was talking to the plumber guy. I was like, you know what? I was like, how big of a deal would be just to put like a little split off of the plumbing to make it, because there's already a hose there. But I'm like, for waste, so that if someone brings an RV, or if we ever get one or whatever, we just park it there. He's like, it's like nothing. He's like, I'll just basically almost. Throw it in with the quote. It's like a T-bar. So I'm
Really?
like,
That's
cool.
cool.
So yeah, so I
Yeah.
could do that, and like we could either get one ourselves. Friends could come over. We might even like offer a spot like seasonal so people can park and stuff. I don't know. It's just me. I'm always trying to
Oh
come
yeah.
up with a million ideas. I'm an
Yeah.
ideas guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Oh,
you
for
know who
sure.
Bert Kreischer is, the machine.
No.
No, so I don't know if you ever watch Rogan or no. Not really.
I
A
used
little
to.
bit.
Yeah, and not as much anymore. I ain't got my free time is wrapped up in so much other stuff. So
I feel you. Rogan's like a 3-hour podcast, and
yeah,
I'm far from listening to all of them. Honestly, it's really about the subject matter and who he interviews. Because at this
yeah.
point, I've seen a
His
bunch of
guest,
them.
it's got to be the
A
right
good
guest and
guess.
what they're
Yeah.
talking about.
And it's funny because I turned Aranza onto it, and she turned a good friend of hers onto it. And the thing is, I started talking to her. She lives in New York, and she had hosted me when I went over there real quick, which was super nice. And I was talking to her, and I was like, "Hey," she's like, "Hey, have you seen this episode?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "You see this episode?" I started realizing we literally watched like the opposite episodes. Because I'm
Yeah,
more into, I'm into different stuff, and I like learning and psychology and stuff. But I also just like when he has comedians and dumb people and they talk shit. Because it's like fun. She doesn't like those. She likes more like the history and like the whatever. And I'm not into the history ones as much. So
yeah.
like,
I
yeah, we're on
like
different pages.
yeah, I like the conspiracy theorists.
I like those once in a while too. Sometimes honestly, like those are the ones that I'll tune in, but I actually listen out of 3 hours, maybe a half hour sometimes
Bits
too,
and
because
pieces.
they go too crazy.
Oh
I feel
yeah,
like they
they'll
give me a
go way
headache or something. You know what I mean? You get
they'll
into
go way
like
out.
Alex Jones or something, and his head's like, I turn all red. It's like I like listening to him sometimes, but sometimes it's just I'm like, all right, I'm done. Next guest.
It's bits
So,
and pieces for sure.
yeah. But so this is like an event that went viral. So there's this thing, and you probably heard little parts of this story somehow or another. I bet you because it's big. So there's this guy. His name's Bert Kreischer, and he's a good friend of Joe Rogan's, right? So
Just
he
a
was
comedian.
yeah, he's a comedian. He's a
Okay.
comedian. He's a big fat guy that takes his shirt off.
Take
If
your
you've ever
shirt.
seen,
Okay.
yes, you know him, right? So
I
here's
know
the
who he is
thing.
then.
Back in
Because
the
the name sounds
day,
familiar. I just like it.
I think in the 90s or something like that, right? I don't remember the magazine. It wasn't Playboy, but it was like some magazine. They were writing an article about partying in college and how out of hand and crazy it gets, right? So they were searching out the biggest party animal in all of America. Okay. And almost everyone led him to this one guy, was Birch Chrysler. I think he went to school for 6 or 7 years and didn't get a degree. Okay. Eventually,
that makes sense.
They were going to interview all the people at the school, but they interviewed him, and everyone was like, "This is the guy." So that they turned the story from partying in college to one guy who was like the craziest party. Like he became the focal point. He was like on the cover or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So he kind of blew up, and they made a movie about it called Van Wilder. Right? That's his story. They didn't get paid for it, but they made a movie on it and shit. So he was on Joe Rogan. And he was, like always crazy. He drinks so much. So they were afraid he was going to die, like literally. So they came up with Sober October, which that's what I'm guessing you've heard of. That literally happened because of him. They were so worried that he was going to die if he didn't take a break because he just drinks like, I don't know, 20 beers a day, like every day, like vodka, tequila. He's an animal. But he's funny. He's actually the movie coming out this summer. But he's a big idea guy. I listen to him on his podcast sometimes. He's really wacky, and sometimes he throws out like 10 stupid ideas, and then one it's like amazing. So I identify with him a little bit about just like taking big chances, being wild, throwing things out there. Like I like all that stuff.
Yep.
You got to throw a lot of things against the wall, and then hopefully some of that spaghetti sticks.
And meatballs. Don't forget the meatballs.
Yeah, exactly. The big meatballs. You got to have meatballs to make the spaghetti,
Oh, yeah.
Have you been to Italy or no?
I have not been out the country. Well, been to Canada.
Yeah, that doesn't really count. I was talking about some of that the other day. No, I mean, no disrespect to them. I like Canada, but you could walk around Canada and forget you're outside of the U.S. Especially if it ain't that cold out. I really want to go to the West Coast actually.
Niagara Falls.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember you told me you walked across. Nice. You walked across and you wanted to get stamped in your passport, and they're like, "Oh, we're not doing that today. Or they're out of stamps or something."
Oh yeah, totally ruined my day.
That's funny.
It was all about getting that stamp in your passport, and it was like, "Oh, it's all electronic." I'm like, "Oh, you got to be shitting me."
Nice. All right, so you're wearing travel gear. Me too, man. This is from Bratislava, Slovakia.
I've seen that.
Where my great-grandparents are from. And this one was the Camino de Santiago, where supposedly one of the apostles took his last walk and died over in Spain / France / Portugal. It's a long journey, so it depends on where you start. But it ends in Spain.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. So what you got on the agenda for this weekend, bro? You almost finished with that bathroom?
Man, I love to say so, but it's a slow process. Yeah. It is, and we had to go all the way down to the studs and joists, so I had to re-brace the whole floor on one side underneath the wall.
So what exactly happened? Something leaked and you didn't know, like a busted pipe in the ground?
It needed upgrading. The tile was starting to break. Yeah, you could tell where the tile was cracking next to the toilet. So there was a slow leak there, and then there was a slow leak in the shower. So plus it needed upgraded. We done took out like the tub. So
and is that like the master bath, or it is? Okay, but you still have the main or guest one or whatever, so you guys still have a bathroom in the meantime?
Yeah, we still have a functional one, so
that's cool.
That's what's letting us draw it out so
yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, you guys both work full time, so it's like it's not like it's just a side hustle, you know what I mean?
Like this, but we were all about to save money, and that's results. And huge props to the wife. She kind of took the lead on this shit. Making all the trips to the stores, getting all the supplies.
Nice.
Did most of the plumbing. Replumbing all the lines, water lines and sewer lines herself. Of course, there was she needed my help in certain parts of it, but fucking superhero right there.
That's awesome, bro. Yeah, you guys are more adventurous than us on that, man. We kind of. We redid the whole house, but we weren't working, and we did hire a plumber and electrician, so we didn't touch those. But
we did just bring. Yeah, we had to bring an electrician because neither one of us want to fuck with that.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
You want it to code. You don't want to get electrocuted. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially in the bathrooms, you got to have GFIs and all that.
Yeah. Especially in the bathroom. So we definitely take the hit on that. So. but it turned out well because we got got the new lights in. We're going to install the one over the vanity ourselves.
All
But
right.
the wiring's already he put the wiring there for us and all
Got you.
that
Got you.
good stuff.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, Daniel got us we got a bidet coming. I mean, it's in the garage actually.
Yeah.
So
Gonna shoot that
um,
water up.
I don't know. I ain't too keen on the idea of it.
Yeah.
But I guess there's air that follows.
Okay.
Uh,
I
but
like it in theory. I think
in
it's like
theory, right?
cleaner, better for the environment and stuff. I just get a little. I'm very like traditional old man guy when it
I
comes to
mean,
things touching my butthole. I get a little nervous, bro.
I mean,
I'm
just
not
out
gonna
of
lie.
habit, just out of
Yeah.
habit, no, you want to touch your own butt, you make sure it's clean. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So that's my hang up with it is like
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna get my ass clean. So
No, they say it's cleaner. I guess it makes sense in that aspect to me. I just feel weird about things shooting into my butt. I don't know. It's
mhm.
weird. I think it's
you and
just like
me,
probably if I did it, I'd be like, all right, but it just
you
feels
and me
weird.
both, you and me
Yeah,
both.
I think
So
I definitely clench up the first couple times for show.
oh
For
yeah,
show.
but saving thousands doing it ourselves
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
because
And it
neighbor
adds
next
value to the
door.
house, man. It's definitely cool, and it's great to have the luxury of having a second bathroom.
Oh yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's cool, man.
But we at the point we got the floor down. We're getting ready to put the underlayment on that, and then start putting up the drywall and start building our shower. So
Yeah, we went from a single sink to a double, and the first one was really wide, and we measured it to like precise, but somehow or another it was off by like a quarter or half inch or something. So we just had to like open up the studs or the wall because I didn't put the sheetrock all the way there because I figured worst case it would be at the stud. It actually
mhm,
went a little beyond that. So what I did was I just notched out the stud on each
there
side,
you go.
just a slight bit and slid it in. But boy, it was a bitch.
Yeah,
It's really
yeah,
a bitch. That sink looks
yeah.
beautiful, but every time I look at that sink, I just think of the pain. It's like such a pain in the ass, man.
Yep. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's a slow process, and then we had. I mean, heck, I got sick. I got COVID.
Mhm.
I was down for a couple weeks, man, and then the wife got it. She was out for almost a week and a half, 2 weeks. So there's a month we didn't work on it. So,
Gotcha.
but it's coming along. We proud about it. So, um,
That's what's
you
up.
say,
Be done
you
sooner
say.
than later, man. And it'll just be a memory of something you did in the past. You'll
Right,
have
and
that
plus, we
done.
chose to do it during like winter months. Since we're gonna be cooped up in the house anyway, because we like to be outside when it's warm out.
Of course, yeah.
Uh,
How was
so
that with I guess if you just close the door, it's probably all right, but it's cold as hell in there because like you got the floor open at some
yeah,
one point. Yeah,
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. And there was times where where it was below zero up here,
Yeah,
where we had to put a space heater in there to make sure the pipes didn't freeze. So
freeze. Yeah, yeah.
there was like a stretch of a week or so where it was really bad, but other than that, it wasn't too bad. You could definitely feel the draft because I had to get up under there and cut up the liner, pull out insulation just so I could brace up those joists up underneath there.
Gotcha, gotcha.
So um, yeah, it's been a project, man, and definitely a lot learned.
Yep. It's always
Yeah.
more than you think, right? When you jump into things like that, it's
Oh
very
yeah.
rarely that it's like, wow, this is easy. I mean, once in a while you get that, it's amazing, but most projects, like, man, it's longer than I thought. I had to redo it or pull this out. I forgot about this. There's always
Yeah.
something, man.
Yeah. And so it's been a lot of watching videos, getting knowledge, read, making sure we're doing the right things first, so we don't have to come back and do it again. So yeah, it's been not only the time spent on the project, but time researching how to do the project. But
So,
other than that, yeah, man, work's going good. We're actually talking about expanding, bringing new machinery in. So they're
okay.
offering me, more money, of course, but to learn CAD, the
Oh,
design.
okay. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah. Very
so
cool. It's a good
they're
skill to
gonna
have too.
for sure, especially these days. So I'm all about it. It's a no brainer. Um,
Nice.
so we're getting ready to start doing that. Been busy as hell, so been working overtime. So yeah, man. Anytime to sit down and relax, have a podcast with my buddy, and
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
um, I'll definitely take advantage of that kind of time spent too, because it evens us out, man. Keeps us balanced. Because otherwise, I'd just be full tilt,
Yeah.
fucking
Nah, man, you
balls
gotta
to the
take breaks
wall.
and reset sometimes, man. Like
I,
that's very important, man, in life, I think. You gotta have that balance. Like, I mean, I know you and your go, 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 work, 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 and you gotta do that, but you gotta have that balance, man, for sure.
yep.
Speaking of projects, when is a full length official Captain CD album coming out, bro.
Man,
we gotta get you going on that. Seriously.
I've always, that's always in the back of my mind. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, I just want to do a solo project because I'm a big feature guy.
Yep.
Especially these days because I don't do it as often, so I'm not paying for subscriptions or nothing like that. So I can get on there and do my music, throw down a verse here and there.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Steezy, Country Ghetto, Queen of Beats. Those are people I met. I fuck with still on Smule because they'll throw out those beats or throw out a verse where you can just jump on and let that out. But it definitely ain't gonna be anytime soon. I mean, maybe by the end of the year.
I'm gonna get you started somehow or another. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw you like 20 something beats or whatever, and 20 or 30 beats. You can find like maybe 5, 10, 12, whatever you like out of them, and then eventually just start recording on them, man. If you want to feature, do whatever, and just keep them piled up, man. And then when you're ready to you think you got enough that it's like an album's worth, we'll talk about how to put it out, man. And it's easy.
Yep.
Like the price is not much and all that stuff. I'll throw you like real beats that are like you can put on the album that someone produced and they're not like bullshit. And then once you put it out, you get paid on those spins. It might take a couple years for them to add up, but it's always worth it, man. Plus, it's fun, man. It's fun. It's fun putting that shit out there. It's fun to be like, hey, your niece or something, nephews are like, yeah, man, I'm on TikTok. You're like, hey, you check out my song on TikTok. They're like, what? They're like, yeah, type my name in. Like, my rhyme name's the Captain. Like, and then the song, hey, try this song, and they'll be like, pull it up, like, what? You got a song on TikTok?
Yeah. So yeah, it's always fun, especially the video we did with for starting over.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites, bro.
Oh man, with MCRE, dope by the way.
He's a beast, bro. He's a beast. Yeah, for sure.
He reminds me like a Mercules or
yeah.
You know what I mean? Just his whole demeanor and what he brings, but.
Yeah, he has like the full package, but like for me, like definitely, I think like my I'm trying to get better on rhyming patterns and styles and more intricate, and working with like all you guys and all these amazing MCs, like it definitely makes me just step it up,
Oh yeah. All right, that's something I noticed on this your latest album, man, is your progress on your bar schemes.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate
that. Because usually, it's the same rhythmic pattern.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're
it was always like attack the beat hard and do the same thing.
You're always about throwing blows. Blow after blow after blow.
Yeah.
So no, I totally got the style. But this one you switched it up, and I was super impressed because especially at that one snap like Thanos. Is that right?
That's funny you say that, bro, because you know what, right now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to give you the exact numbers, but the album, the two most popular joints on it are joints number 2, like the most spins, and then the most popular joint is a snap like Thanos, bro.
Dude, off the fucking chain. I love that one. Yeah. For a solo track, which you like you said, you mentioned you have more of. But yeah, that one hit all. That checked all the boxes, dude.
I got a confession on that. It's gonna be funny if you hear this. So that was actually on a project, right? So that was on a project with Cali Was Good a while ago. But I asked him if it's cool if I could just pop that verse out and just use it like quick on there. So that probably came out like 3 years ago on a Cali project. Yeah. It was like so it wasn't even new, bro. I just popped it in. But yeah, it was a cool one. I love the beat, and he ended up not putting it. It's not out. So I was just like, hey, can you mind if I just use that? It was his beat. I was like, I'll put you as the producer beat on it. You know what I mean? So you get like a credit on it. So.
A little copy and paste action.
Yeah, that one was done before the project started. That was the years ago. I just chop. That was quick and easy. So
it's cool. It's still a banger. So
that's cool. Yeah, I like it, man.
And I definitely and probably my favorite so far. I mean, I'm still listening to all of them again and again. But the one with your cousin, dude.
Oh yeah, thank you, bro.
The guitar.
The Simple Days.
Oh, Simple Days. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's not him on the guitar though. That is no. There's this dude. His name is Riani Beats. I've done a couple with him. It's actually the same other this track after that, which I did with Kevin and Bernsey. Same guy doing the guitar. And I got a bunch of beats. I'll give you a couple of his beats too because he's really good. But yeah, no, like
I
my
don't know,
cousin's the
man.
one.
Just the
He's the
way,
one
yeah.
singing. He's the one
Just
singing. But like, it sounds like he could be on the guitar because it's
dude,
real
it
like
sounds
with it. Yeah,
to me. Yeah, to me,
yeah.
it
You
sounds
thought he
like
was. Yeah,
he's just sitting there strumming and singing at the same time.
yeah. He does
So
do that. Like he does play guitar and sing. My cousin, like he's got his own stuff out, you know. But
yeah,
yeah, that one's specifically rounded beats. And when I heard that beat, I just hit him up right away. I was like, hey, yeah, you want to get on this? Because I love this beat. I don't know where I'm going with it. And he's like, yeah, I'm down. And that was whatever, like 6-9 months ago, whatever. And then like a little while after, I was like, hey, I got a verse. I shot it to him, and he was like, wow, I love the verse. And then I hit him up again. I was like, hey, I got the second verse. Boom. So you want to just like do all the other spots because the beat kind of changes where the like it gets more fast, and that's why I was like,
yeah.
all right, I'll do the bars over that, and the rest of it he just brought it together with like
Oh yeah, you definitely
singing, rhythm, hook,
where the
the whole
tempo
nine.
changed.
Yeah,
Where
yeah. No,
tempo
he
changed
killed
and
it.
your verse came in, and then tempo changed in his. Yeah,
Yeah, I love it, man. He had
it
great
definitely played.
words.
Yeah.
With the we're all human beings and just the I'm not gonna sing and break the microphone here, but it's not my forte.
Right.
The closest I get to singing was the song we did with me and you. I just had one part where I was like, that was like that's it. That's like as close as I'm gonna sing and just like
Yeah,
harmonize a little bit.
very rarely will you see either one of us go go there.
Mm.
There was times where I flirted with the idea of it and just let it and but it don't sound good to me. I know it don't sound
No.
good to anybody else too. So
Bernstein low key could sing. He's not like phenomenal singer, but he could
yeah,
low key sing. That's why
yeah,
he
he's
used to
got
do like the karaoke. So he could carry the note and the tune.
yeah he's
He
got
does
the
it in place with a
harmonic.
little bit. And Kevin could sing it fucking
Oh
his ass
man,
off, man.
Kevin's
Kevin
outrageous.
sent me an awesome birthday message, bro. I didn't tell
Did
you. So he definitely like mixed it in his studio, right?
he?
It was like it's like a minute or something. It's like the greatest rapper ever born was in 1980. He gives it his whole like it's like a guy like he definitely found it somewhere, and then
Yep.
he's in the background doing ad libs like chill, chill, like all the little things I do. It's hilarious, and then all of a sudden it's like him, his daughter, and his wife like singing the happy birthday little like thing at
That's
the end.
awesome.
It was hilarious, bro. It was
That is
beautiful.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, good people, man. They are good people.
yeah. He's a
And
creative dude, man.
oh yeah. He belongs somewhere else in in this point in his life. He just needs that break, man. He needs to be discovered.
Yeah,
So whether that's being more on social media, which he does with that was that beer burbs and babes, whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh huh.
And then his diecast, he's got a
Yeah,
little thing where he opens up Hot Wheels and shit. But dude is so entertaining. He's got one of those voices where he should be a voiceover guy.
yeah, for sure.
So I mean, I just pray that he gets that chance
Yeah.
because
And
he'd
Kevin, you need to
explode.
put out more music, Kevin. More music.
More music.
You don't have that much on your page, bro. You were talking about putting out like a single every month or something. You gotta
We
jump
still,
back on that, bro.
yeah, we still got a track to do. So um, I'm gonna hold you to that.
Nice. Yeah, actually, he's him and Bernsey are on the Adrenaline Flows remix.
Yeah, that's a good track too.
Yeah, they got killer verses on it. Actually, I just mixed down Bernsy's. I'm still waiting on Kevin's, but
Are you?
he spit it for me just on like Facebook Messenger or whatever with the beat in the background. It's pretty sick. So yeah,
Okay.
it's got like an Eminem reference and shit in there. It's pretty good, man. It's pretty
Yeah,
tight.
he was always like this goes back to auto rap before we even went to Smule. Burn them guys like Bernsey and Kevin. They they were just always a step above everybody else. Even though we were just playing around or whatever, but their just bars hit harder.
Yeah,
They had more emphasis, had more personality. So all those things resonated. When it comes to um, who you listen to or who you fucked with.
yep.
But yeah, Kevin was always low key though.
Yeah, I told
Yeah,
Kevin he reminds me a lot of, and I think it's one of his favorite bands. So when I said it, he was happy about it. But he reminds me a lot of Linkin Park, but he's like all the members.
yeah,
You know, because he
yeah,
makes the beats too. So I don't know if you heard that project that him and Bernsey put out, the joint project they had. It was like a little short EP. I think it's like 6 tracks or 7 tracks on it, and I think all of them but one are Kevin's beats on it. And yeah, it's cool, man. It was good production for sure, man. I'm
he's
sure it took a
he's
lot.
an all around talent.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, actually, he did the cover art for me on that
Yeah.
Paperboy track. I mean, he does
He's an
digital
artist.
art.
He's a singer. He's
Yeah,
a rapper.
rapper. He does it all, man. Beat
Yeah,
maker. He
yeah,
does
does it all.
production. Yeah, he mixed down Walking Home because I was on the road, so
Okay,
he mixed that one down too.
that's cool.
Yeah, man. He's got a 3D printer now, so he's about to be on some other
Oh
shit
well,
with
he's
the
about to explode then, ain't he?
die-cast cars and all that shit. Yeah.
Holy shit!
Shout out to Kevin's pops for coming through with the 3D printer as a present for him, I believe, for Christmas. So
Tom, I mean
Tom,
Tom,
yeah, Tom, man. I met
Tom
I met
Rhodes.
met with Tom at the family reunion.
How was that? Because I had to leave early. Yeah, me and Joe went down to Kevin's, stayed the
Yeah,
weekend, and hung out.
you went down, I went up, but yeah, Kentucky, we were there.
Yeah,
And it was cool, man. It was interesting because I would say it was like 50, 60 people, which is the size of my mom's side of the family when we do a gathering. The
okay,
difference is we get together a few times a year and we all know each other very well, obviously.
yeah.
And there it was like, hey, who are you related to? And I'm like, I'm Kevin's friend. I'm Dan. So it was cool, like because I could tell obviously some people knew each other, but there was a good amount of people that were just like meeting people for the first time. So interesting enough, some people didn't know who I was, but they assumed I was part of the family, which was pretty
Uh-huh.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good times though. It was fun. It was cool, man.
And I'm sure
Got
they
to meet.
were, if they anything like, Kevin and Don, they were welcoming and
Yeah, no, they were
yeah,
really cool. His dad, his mom, his sister, they're all real cool peeps. So it
yeah,
was good times, man. Yeah,
good deal,
we had some good food, so it was cool. Yeah,
good deal.
yeah. Even though the restaurant was good food too that we went to all together, man.
What was the name of it?
The one we went to, I don't remember.
I
Kevin's
don't
friend
either.
worked there or something. You remember?
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it though.
Yeah, we were a little in a fun zone for the whole adventure. So it was a
Oh yeah,
blur. It was a
oh
blur.
yeah. It was all about just hanging out, chilling, and just enjoy each other's company. And heck, you all shot that video.
Yeah, which
Uh,
is ironic because honestly, it was like 8 bars or something, 6 bars, like whatever everyone had. And we should have recorded you live at Kevin's house because you could have probably popped it out in like
oh
five,
yeah,
10 minutes. And then they
yeah,
got on the video and did it. We all thought about it after. Like we didn't do anything like
yeah.
musically together. But that's how it goes, man, you know?
Yeah, and yeah, of course, you're gonna look back like, oh man, we should have done that, should have done this.
Hmm.
But it was what it was, and have fun doing it.
Yeah, for sure. That actually, next up for me is the first video single on the album is going to be "Walking Home" with Kevin and Bernsey. I
Okay.
shot with Bernsey in springtime over in London, down by the Channel tunnels and all that good shit.
What is it? What is it?
It's Walking Home, the video for it. So we were
No,
down
what
by
you
like
say?
the
The tunnel,
waterways and
tunnel.
stuff, and the tunnels. I don't know the tube. They got all that crazy shit over there, governor.
Gotcha.
So we were just going through, and we got some cool shots like through the city, but we're walking through like parks and stuff. And then I almost got in a fight in London, didn't even know it. They talk so different.
Really?
I don't understand them, man. Yeah, Bernsey said some dude said some shit to me, and I just kind of like he's like, yo, you just like laughed that dude off and ignored him super like quick. I said, I had a totally different like thing of what I thought he said than what he said. He said something like I was filming, and I guess he was mad. He was like, I don't know if he was a teenager, but he was like a teenager, early 20s. There was these two kids on bicycles and shit. I don't know, but I was just like
They didn't
filming.
like you filming them?
Yeah. So I thought he said, and this is me in my British language and accent, which isn't the best, but he was like film. Oh, you're filming. That's smashing. Like that's how you
Right.
talk, right? So
Yeah.
Bernsy's like he said something about he didn't like me filming him and he wanted to smash my camera. I was like, I didn't get
Oh
that at all. I
shit.
thought he was complimenting me, bro. But he's like, yeah. He goes, you just kept walking and laughing and saying, I think I said thanks or something. I was like, yeah, no doubt, bro, or something like that. And then I just kept walking because I was filming and I was like, I had my eye in the camera. I was just doing like B-roll shots and I had my eye in the camera. So I saw him. I was like, yeah, no doubt. And I just like kept moving because I didn't want to lose my shot, you know?
Right. Right.
And then apparently they like spun around on their bicycles and were like coming back. And then they saw I had another person with me, and they were like, all right. And they just bounced because
Okay.
they were little anyway. I think I would have smashed both of them and just threw them in the river, honestly. But yeah, I mean, maybe when I got a hit or two in because I had my camera like this, and hopefully they didn't smash my camera. But yeah, it was interesting.
He's about to have war with the British.
Apparently, man. Yeah, we were wilding out. British people get a little wild, man. I mean, they're like drinking's like a national pastime slash sport over there,
Yeah,
and they
I
get
mean,
drunk and they like to fight. It's
oh
like
yeah,
similar to the Irish, obviously too. Like
exactly.
you see it in Ireland, you see it in Britain. It's very similar. So even though
Yeah,
London's like a big city and shit, if you're out late, you see some wild stuff for sure.
yeah,
It's
and
kind of
just
Miami-ish.
just my perception is, they're just they're straight up, up front, speak their mind. Have
Oh
no,
yeah,
yeah, they have no reserve to that,
no, hundred
which
percent.
which
Yeah,
I which I admire. I love it. I love that.
yeah, yeah. Why bullshit? Yeah, yeah.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, they pop off. They drink a lot. They get a little wild. It's good times over there, man.
Especially when it
Definitely.
comes to their football, the football.
Football,
Yeah,
even though it's not. I heard this just in. It's not really a sport because they fake the injuries and no, I'm just playing. They be busting balls. It's so funny
uh,
because football, soccer is like so opposite of American football.
oh yeah,
Like it's like they're great athletes. They run a lot and it's nonstop. And if anything, I mean, they have much better cardio and they do all that. But as far as like big guys smashing on each other and like get up, don't be a pussy, just keep going. Like that's American football. That's the opposite of
yeah,
soccer. It's like just
yeah.
fall, throw your hands up and pretend you're hurt and like
Yeah, you
yeah.
gotta hit rugby to even
Yes, rugby actually I would say is American football before Newt Rockney and all that stuff came in
yeah,
with the forward pass because that's how they
exactly.
used to play football when it was a struggle game. I
That's
like
it.
it.
So it's
And I like it
physical.
in between, man. I like 80s, 90s, and 2000s footballs. Like the last 15 plus years, 20 years. I mean, it's okay, but it's become so offensive. All the games have
Oh,
become like that. Even basketball, I don't like really when they like used to be able to clothesline Michael Jordan. It was a little crazy, but there was something in between where like you could just like travel and like get a million points and like you can't touch anyone wrong. I like it where it's a little bit of struggle and tough, but also has like the advanced,
authentic.
fast, fun game. Yeah, like fun game. I don't like it when it goes too far and it's like everyone gets to score 150 points.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. These days, I got burnt out on coaching, and so I coached for 15 years, football, baseball. Doing the fantasy, playing flag myself. I
yeah,
played flag, adult flag league here in town for almost 20 years. So that part of my life, I guess, was like, all right, yeah, I see what it is. It is what it is. And okay, let's start doing other things. Um,
yeah. I feel
More
you. You got
important,
to.
yeah, yeah. You got to graduate from that, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
It's good
but no,
times when you had it.
yeah, I still watch. I still watch playoffs or big games or Super Bowl, of course, or but following, tracking, knowing stats, all that. I just ain't got time for it.
Yeah, I feel you. Super Bowl was good this year, man. I mean,
Yeah,
I was slightly pulling for Philly because the family out there, but I'm a Bears fan.
yeah.
The Bears.
The Bears.
But yeah, so I just didn't really. I wanted to see a good game. It was a good game. So, but it was funny because for a second there, you said, "Yeah, I got really burned out," and I swear to God, you sound like you said Coke, but then it switched. I heard at the end it was Coke. I was like, "Oh, is he just gonna jump to a random like drug story?" Like, I was like, "Okay, so that's cool. It's
uh,
a cool left turn. We'll take it."
Actually, no, I've never done coke in my life, so
Me neither, bro. I don't want to. I'm sure it's fun as hell. It's supposed to be pretty addictive. It's a very
yeah.
expensive drug that's the high that's supposed to not last long and it has a high addiction rate. So I don't know why you try it.
Now, to be honest, though, I think somebody slipped it in one of our blunts back in
Oh,
high school because I was higher than you're supposed to be high on weed. So,
you're higher than
uh,
giraffe pussy.
yeah. Crispy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It
Barbecue
was,
baked.
but it was totally. You knew something was not right. Whether it was a pill, whether it was cocaine, somebody
Yeah.
laced that blunt, and so maybe I done it then, but not on,
Yeah. You know
not
what?
voluntarily.
My pushback would be this. So I've only smoked like so many times in my life. I'm not a big smoker, but I did one time. And then I know it was my old roommate and or cousin. I know neither one of them would ever.
Yeah,
And my old roommate had brought it to me, and I thought I swear it was laced, right? And I asked my cousin because I'm like, you've done every drug in the world. He's done cocaine, meth, heroin. He's literally tried the gamut. Like he's very functional, but like when he wants to do drugs, he just doesn't. So I was
right.
like, dude, was that laced or what? Because I was beyond retarded. He's like, nah, it was like decent stuff, but it wasn't bad. So I think sometimes it hits people a certain way, but I don't know if you were with a group and it hit everyone. There was three of us. It would only hit me like that randomly,
Really?
you know.
Mm.
But yeah, we were camping, and I thought I died, bro. I did. I did. I swear to God, because they knew I was off, and then I just went to the tent and took a nap. And I told them I was like I relived like this like 30-second loop or shorter, and it was like me like falling into the fires. It was crazy. It was wild, man. So I don't recommend that, and it was not good. But yeah, it's also why I'm not into like hard psychedelics or mushrooms.
Yeah, you know,
It's just
I think.
not for me, man. I think for someone it's probably great or therapeutical. I don't need that. Like I'm not in a
Well,
bad
they say it
space.
opens your mind to different things, different
Yeah.
possibilities. You know, seeing the world in a different way,
Hmm.
which I can agree with.
Yeah. I can see it.
Yeah,
I don't know if I want that, but I
I
see
did.
it.
Yeah, everybody don't want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it back in high school, and but it was
Shrooms
never
or which one?
both. I did shrooms. I did,
Acid.
it just yeah, your paper.
Yep.
The probably hardest hitter was a gel cap, which is like a equivalent to 3 or 4 hits.
Okay. And that's like a
Yeah,
synthetic version or whatever. So that would be considered
yeah.
LSD, or what would you call that on the street?
I'm not sure.
Okay. You just said just take this fucking pill. You don't know what it is.
Well, I knew it was a gel cap. I knew it was,
Okay.
I knew it was,
Hallucinogen.
right.
Gotcha.
Supposed to trip off of it. So I was talking to the trees and the clouds that night. So
Yeah.
it worked.
Wasn't a good conversation or?
Oh hell yeah! I mean,
Yeah. Nice.
me and Tree was actually talking about the dinosaurs out in the distance, and
Nice. Nice.
and all it
Did,
really was
well,
the sun or the moon shining, and it was the clouds that were slowly rolling through,
yeah. Yeah.
and it looked like a herd of dinosaurs.
That's crazy. That's crazy, bro.
But yeah, I mean, it was good while you did it, but nothing that I would want to continue doing or nothing like that because you'll fry your brain.
Did you look in the mirror when that happened?
I was outside.
Okay, because I always hear that's the one thing not to do, bro. I hear if you're tripping balls, do not look in the mirror. Like you'll flip out because it feels like your face is fucking melting and shit. So if you ever, I'm sure you have to yeah, sure you have to use the bathroom at some point when you're super high. Just don't look in that mirror, man. Don't look in that bright new
Yeah,
vanity. It's not worth it.
yeah. Well, it ain't happening these days for sure.
No, no, I know. I feel you. The older I get, I'm like, man, I don't know if that shit's good for my heart and shit. You start thinking like
Yeah.
different, you know?
Oh, when you get older, you start getting older, man. You think about everything different.
Hmm.
When you go to bed, 10:30, 11 o'clock, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna feel this tomorrow. You know what
Bro,
I
it was
mean?
9:30. It was 9:30 last night. And I'm like, I think I'm gonna stay up till at least 10. You know, I was like, I'll listen to a pod or so. I'll stay up till at least 10, but I'm kind
uh,
of tired because
it sucks.
when I drive, like the thing is, I'm on my own schedule, but I notice it's very busy in the morning, and I like getting out early, and I definitely like get out before the rush. Not that there's a lot of traffic in Corpus Christi, but so I'll just get there like around sunrise, you know. And it's cool because like I'll get up, and still be a little dark out, go grab a coffee or an energy drink or something,
Mhm.
and just or water or whatever I'm in the mood for, just go. So like yeah, I get used to getting up early, so my body automatically wants to go to bed earlier too. You know.
Right, right. Yeah, you get on that routine like, and it's now to the point where I wake up 10, 15 minutes before my alarm goes off.
Yeah, I don't even have an
And
alarm, but I'm up by like 6:30. You
yeah,
know, naturally.
yeah.
So.
Well, I'm at work by 6.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah, yeah, guy. I would
yeah.
set the alarm if I had to get up that early too. Yeah,
Right. So,
yeah,
9 o'clock, 9:30, that's where I want to be when it's bedtime. But it just sucks getting old, man. You're like, your mind and your heart are not on the same page with your body.
yep.
So yeah, it's aggravating. You
Your
know,
brain keeps going. I mean, to some point, I think like that declines eventually, but your brain keeps going and your body's like down a bit. So it's like you're trying to do shit
unless
you
you
can't
keep it
do.
up, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Unless you're keeping in shape, which when I got time to work out. So
yeah.
I do as much walking and lifting I can at work, but then cardio and stuff like that, or actually putting up weights, and I gotta I gotta make time for that, and do it on the daily.
Support. Yeah.
It's yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
try to
hard.
do at least 3 days a week of weights, and at least 2 days of like some kind of exercise thing or run outside or whatever. And
Yeah.
when I'm like working this much, it's a little tough. But if not, then I'll work out like 4 or 5 days of weights and still like overlap and do another 3 4 days of running too. Like when I'm not working, when I got
Yeah.
time, But it's rough.
Yeah, and I just don't have time to do that. I wish, but I need to start incorporating more of that.
Yeah,
Just
it's good,
just
man,
just yeah, just to feel healthier, be healthier.
for sure. Do you know who
Yeah,
CT Fletcher is?
name sounds familiar.
He's crazy, bro. Like he's getting a little older now, and he had like a heart replacement. But back in the day, I still watch his videos, man. He's like the ultimate like drill sergeant type dude, just like pump you up in the gym, man. He was the dude who set the world record for straight curl. He would just do biceps every day. Like his biceps comes out to here. He's from Compton. They call him Compton Superman. But yeah, no, I watch him a little before I work out, man. He works out some of the celebrity dudes. He worked out with Terry Crews and a couple of these other dudes, and he's just like he'll get you going, man. Because he's like
Yeah,
fun to listen to. And next thing you know, it's Terry Crews. Come on, one more. You can do it. Come on, stop being a bitch. It's still your set. Come on, Terry. Yell at that fucking weight. Tell the weight. He's just like he gets you pumped up,
yeah,
man. I watch him. I'm like,
and
all right, I'm gonna work out.
yeah, and that works. A lot of guys, need that.
Yeah,
You need that motivation. You need that kick in the ass. So
yeah, a little bit. I mean, a lot of times I just watch whatever. I got this guy. He's this Russian dude. He's like super shredded, and he's got this ab workout. It's like 8 minutes, 10 minutes. You're gonna die after, bro. The first time
I
I did it, I
bet.
took my shirt off and just like wringing it out. Just
Wow.
right to the shower. It's brutal, but it gets easier. It gets better, and it definitely works.
Yep. So what you got going on this weekend? Anything?
Nothing too much, man. I just finished my last day of work as of yesterday, so I'm gonna be off for probably the next 2 3 months, which is pretty awesome.
Was you doing something
Um,
outside of driving? Or you're
no,
just not going
well,
to be
I mean,
driving?
we're still renting the places, so we'll have that. But no, just driving and music. That's it.
Yep.
It's like my three revenue streams, and
Gotcha.
yeah, no, it's weird actually. I don't know if I told you, but one of the songs I have is on like a video game playlist. And that one gets a lot of fucking traction. It's an old one. We actually did it on Smule with phones, which is crazy, right? And
Right.
it's like it jumped up like almost triple for like a short period. It's staying in that ball range. So I'm hoping that one does crazy this year. Like that's always the biggest one because that video game playlist it gets a lot. It's also on like a Spotify playlist. It's not a bunch of playlists, but
That'd be cool.
so yeah, whatever. But yeah, no, just probably going back to work in a few months. I took off. Ronza's due in like 5 weeks, and it's about to be a month on Monday, I think, till she's due. So, yeah, I just want to be around, start cooking some more food, meal prepping, thinking about getting a big turkey, cooking like a Thanksgiving type thing. Eat a
Okay.
little bit of it, we freeze it. I just want to have a bunch of stuff in the freezer, so like we're just good to go,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
We got that
That's smart.
bassinet's all built. We got his furniture for his dresser. Everything's washed. It's all good to go. So
Just sitting there waiting.
just waiting. I'm hoping it's a little bit of time still. I want to have at least like I kind of don't want him more than 3 weeks early because I don't want him like preemie or anything. And I just got
Sure.
stuff I'd rather do around here. But we're ready, man. It happens. It happens. He's gonna choose when he wants to be born.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So we'll figure it all out. But yeah, man. How about you? What you popping off of this weekend?
Well, besides the
Work.
bathroom,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's always work, man. We'll probably go to dinner, church. Um, that's about it, man. I mean, especially when when the weather's like this, we don't get out too often.
I feel you.
Spring, summer, fall, we are, it's all about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Definitely need to get out in the pole barn. Start cleaning that out too. I just got we just keep adding to it. We like and putting the shit that we need to get out.
Storage. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So and we built us a workbench. 4x8, this big table. But it's like we're and able to move it, so it's portable. But like right now, it's in a space where you can barely work off it because of all the shit around it. So
Yeah, yeah.
just having a workable workspace definitely is on the agenda. Um, yeah,
How'd your
ready.
garden do this year?
I did well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know how many jars of salsa we got out of it, from, tomatoes and, jalapenos, all that. Jalapeno poppers we like to make, so we still got some of those in
Nice.
the freezer. Um, Cucumbers were huge. Those always do well though. We actually added, sunflowers to, like, the front of the garden
Nice.
to it helps shade certain rows of vegetables,
Oh, okay. So you don't get burned
in
out.
in the morning sun.
Hmm.
Of course, once it got, afternoon and after, it would hit the whole garden, but
Yeah.
so those did well.
Nice.
Yeah, need to invest in a, new mower, so
Yeah. You got a
that's
ride
a
on, right?
yeah, that's a rider.
Yeah.
We got 3.5 acres to mow, so
That's big, bro.
by
I got
myself.
an acre, and I'd like to have a little less, if I'm being honest. But I plan on making this thing really green with a huge garden, all that. We got the fire pit in there. I might cement or put a walkway in there. I'm just gonna cut a little of that out, you know. But
Right.
yeah, I do the rider, but I also have some spots I got to hand push and weed whack and all that too, you know.
Yeah, it take me 2.5 hours to, just by myself. This
Hmm.
past year, because I was doing lawn care for a couple of years, so boss would let me bring home a rig, and Danielle would actually get on the other rider. So we had two 60-inch riders going, cut
Oh,
my time.
nice.
Yeah, cut
Yeah.
time in half. But
Yeah.
I had to invest time, working after my primary
To
job.
pay, yeah, yeah, for the borrow
Yeah,
that, yeah,
he's like, yeah, I'll let you use mowers. You got to give me 8 hours. I'm like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, okay. So, there would be 2 or 3 days out of the week where I'd have to go work, after work, so I get my yard mowed. But and I
yeah,
got another rider, but it's like 16, 17 years old.
yeah.
So it's just beat up and it's not as smooth as a ride. And, I think it needs a new battery, but so that's on the list of to dos.
The
Um,
crazy part is ours. I mean, it might depend how much I water or whatever, but it seems like 10, 12 times a year we got to cut the grass, and we got 4 seasons.
that's stupid.
That's crazy, bro.
It's
I'm mowing the lawn maybe once a month. You know?
Dude, it's weekly. Once the grass starts growing,
Yeah,
it's weekly. Sometimes you can mow it twice in a week,
yeah.
just to keep it down. But
We don't get rain like that around here. You know, and the sun will burn it out if you don't whatever.
mhm,
The funny thing is, I would say the 2 seasons it really grows here would be spring and fall. Summer, it kind of almost burns out a little too much unless you're
right,
super watering your grass. And winter, it grows but slow. You know, maybe cut it once in the winter. You know,
right,
so
yeah, that'd be nice. I definitely take that.
yeah, it's good. I'm just trying to green everything up around here because I think I told you, but we had the main gas line broke, so they had to put a new one in. They had to dig it all up and stuff. So I put new grass seed over there, and that's all growing in finally now. So just trying to
So, matching the
get the
rest
house
of the
good.
yard.
Yeah, and actually this year I think I want to water them. I didn't really last year, so they kind of died down. But we have these like I think there's 6 or 8 Spanish olive trees in the back, and they grow a lot of olives, which ironically, me and Aranza don't like olives. But I think I'm gonna
Oh
commit to
shit,
it. I know, right? Of course. So I think
that
this year
sucks.
I'm gonna commit to making olive oil though, because we
That'd be
we
cool.
like cooking and all that stuff, and we don't use canola or anything else. And olive oil is expensive, so I think
Yeah,
I'm
so
just
just
gonna
learn how to
make it.
press it.
Yeah, press it and do all that. It's a bit of a process from what I was seeing online, but as long as I do it in bulk and don't do it all the time, it'll be cool.
Yep. Danielle bought me a chicken coop for my birthday.
Oh yeah,
So yeah,
nice.
so
Because eggs
that's
are expensive right now at the
yeah,
moment,
ain't
bro.
they? But
Yeah.
I've been talking about getting chickens and goats anyway,
Uh huh.
because I think all of us need to learn how to start being more self-sustaining
Oh yeah,
and
million
yeah,
percent.
growing our food.
Are you gonna
Um,
eat the goat eventually? I mean, not right away, but like as he gets old
uh,
and
yeah,
yeah,
well, the younger they are, I think it depends on the goat too.
yeah.
But goat milk, you can have
Hmm.
milk. So
That's cool. Very
I've
cool.
never tried goat milk, but
I've tried it
uh,
in cheese, and I'll tell you, cow milk is the worst in cheese. Like, and once you've had goat and other things, you're like, wow, it's like
right,
better. Yeah,
right,
sheep,
right,
goat, all that stuff's great in cheese. Definitely
right.
when we're in Poland and all those places in Eastern Europe, they do a lot of that.
Yeah, so it's just just doing little things, progressing each year, on
Nice.
with the new projects or um, you know like I said, self-sustaining. So I think it's important,
Yeah,
especially
especially
these days.
nowadays.
I
Everything gets
mean,
expensive, and it
you
keeps
don't even
changing.
know you don't even know what you're eating at the grocery stores, to be honest.
100%, 100%. Yeah, and even when you try to buy organic, whatever else, you're like, well, what are the stipulations? Like, how real is that? You know?
right,
Because I've
right.
seen some behind the scenes on that stuff, and it's like,
You
it's
could
kind
just
of a
change the
joke.
label, man. Yeah, like
Yeah, no, they have
dude,
to do it, but like I saw one that had chickens, and it was like free range, and it was like all you got to have is a portion that they can walk outside. So this guy had like a little like chicken wire fence where they went out
mhm,
about three. I mean, there's thousands in it, right? There's
right,
about 3 feet, and they go out in the sun, right?
right,
And the guy's like, "Well, do they have to go out?" And the guy's like, "Well, no, they just have to have the opportunity to go out."
right.
And
Yeah,
they're like all inside and air conditioned. They don't even go out. So it's like
exactly.
it's what's the difference there? You know what I mean? It's like a
Yeah,
little fence you got to put there and a little label. Like, come on, bullshit.
yeah, yeah.
But
Which is a
anyway,
lot of things these days. So I just think we just have to be mindful, you
for
know,
sure.
and aware of our surroundings, whether that's people, food, government, whatever it is.
All the above.
Uh,
It's strange times, man. They're trying to like do a lot of weird stuff out there, and as new stuff comes in, it doesn't always work.
exactly.
So if we see what happened with that train, right, that crash,
Right.
like that might affect everything.
Yeah,
Uh,
there was more than that. There's just that one over
oh,
here in Ohio.
oh yeah,
One
there's been a
one up
couple
in
I saw.
Michigan. One up
Yep,
in Michigan. I think there was one out in was it Idaho maybe? I don't know. There was another one though, and
I heard there was three total that I heard of. Yeah,
right. And you said that then probably there's more that aren't reported. So, but yeah, just sketchy shit like that.
yeah.
Knowing those chemicals are going to affect the water, the people, the air. Um,
And it happens every so often, man. Down here, we had that big oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico years back. Remember,
right,
I'm sure
right.
we still have some remnants of that.
Oh
Of
yeah,
course, like, yeah.
there's residue of that. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, of
so
course, it's oil, man. I see online, that like all the stuff. They're like, oh, you can go back and you can drink the water and stuff. And I see people throwing rocks in those streams and lakes way down the river, and it's just like oil circles coming out and dead fish. I see all that shit online. It's crazy,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
But
So yeah, we just need it. We just need to be aware, take care of ourselves, and just be more self reliant than relying on other people or the government. So
I agree, man. And you can't be too far from stuff. It's like we build all these cities, and then the farms and stuff are far away, and it's just like it's a mess how the system's set up. We saw how fragile that was in the last couple of years when
yeah,
trucks and supplies went down. It was like, whew, good luck.
system is not working for us or in our favor right now.
Definitely not. Yeah,
Um,
it's all about max
so
profits and big business.
it's all about money, bro.
That's how it goes, man.
Money and power. I mean, just read the good book. It'll tell you.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. So
All right, my brother. I think we did over an hour on here,
how
so
long we? I didn't
we're
even.
at the 67-minute mark if my eyes don't deceive me. So
Damn.
I think we're good on this one, man. It was great taking a chat, and we'll look back in like the next 20 to 50 years when we're old as shit and could barely see, and remember where we were in that mind state and how
For
things
sure.
were. And be like, man,
Yeah.
look at these handsome guys.
Well, like I told you, man, I said, I was going to reciprocate, the gift I did and send you some sauces and shit for barbecue. And I was like, man, I'm just going to get on this podcast with him, because it's much more, what better gift than spending
Time,
time. Yeah.
yeah,
Time.
time is the best
Time is
gift,
the
bro,
most valuable thing that all of us have. So,
for
just
sure.
use it wisely and use it to, share the love and benefit, not only yourself, but others. So, uh,
Fully well spoken. I will give you a big salute for that. That's why they
thanks,
call you
sir.
the captain, because
All right, brother.
well said, my brother.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for taking time out, bro. Have a beautiful weekend. Tell Danielle, tell the boys, tell the vegetables in the garden. Uncle
Yep.
Joey says,
What up?
and
All right, brother.
much love, man.
Thanks for having me. It was a great time, and until next time. Hopefully, it's here soon after baby Zach's born, and
Yeah, man.
we'll meet up again, and the families, the whole both the families can meet, and
Definitely. Bernsey said he wants to join into the circle and come visit one of these days too. He's
yeah,
thinking
you see,
Fourth of July. That's actually his birthday, randomly.
randomly.
So I told him that your birthday's the day that we beat the hell out of your country. We took our freedom. How
that's
you
what
feel about that, bro? How
that's
you
what I was
feel about
gonna
them
say.
apples?
Damn it, that's what I was going to say too.
Yeah.
Yeah, how ironic. But Yeah, brother. It's always a good time hanging out, and till next time, you already know what it is. Captain's out this.
Beautiful talking to you, bro. Peace.
Yeah, much love, brother.
Much love, bro.